People get a perception that, oh, you can't be friends with the police. The police are the bad guys, or the cops. Or you can't talk to the police, or you can't talk to the cops because they're the bad ones. They're the bad guys. The DEA agent that arrested me and sent me to prison, that was on my case, we talk regularly. I give him updates. He'll call to see how I'm doing. I'll call him to update him on how I'm doing. I had so many officers programmed in my phone that I know, that I talk to and I deal with. But a lot of people don't agree with that or accept that, but I don't care. That's me. There's nothing wrong with being a police officer. Being friends with the police officer.
Because even the most gangsters people call the police. Believe that. It's just their opinion on when they want to call them or when they don't want to call them. Because like even when I was in the streets, I was like, because when my brother died, I was hoping the same people that I hated would help. You feel me? You know what I mean? So it's like it's your perception of who's good. And even if you don't like the police, you know what I'm saying? That's the thing you got to deal with. You got to start looking at people as individuals.
Why is it that you don't like the police?
You know what I mean? If you don't like the police, okay, you don't like the police, but don't hate the man.
You know, it's funny, people, they say, oh, I got in trouble, I can't be a police officer. Or I want to be a police officer, but something happened and I messed up. And you believe me, everyone, nobody's perfect, and everyone messes up. But you know what I found? Some of the best police officers I know weren't the best kids growing up.
You have to see.
You know, isn't that the weirdest thing? I mean, not that he would become a cop, but I got a feeling if he became a cop, he would probably be able to connect and do so much that, you know, he had that experience to turn around and do good. That's basically what he's doing, not wearing a uniform, but it's the same thing. So I know people like they already give up. Oh man, I messed up, I can't be a cop, and it's just not true, you know. And so you have to take exactly what he's doing. You have to turn a negative into a positive. And only you know how to do it. You have to do it your way. He's doing it his way. Everyone has to do it their own way. Everyone's success is defined differently, like you said earlier.
Both of y'all said y'all been to prison. Do y'all regret the choices that you made, or you glad that you went through it because it makes you the person that you are today?
It makes me the person that I am today, but I'm not going to sit here and say if I could relive my life, I wouldn't change it, but I can't. So everything that I went through, it made me the person that I am today.
If I could start over from birth, I would say I don't want to go to prison. But like, look at my life now, like it helped me because now I know exactly where I don't want to be at. You feel me? So it's like it helped my mind frame because I had the mentality where I had to see something to actually. You couldn't just tell me, oh, you don't want to go to prison. Because first time I say you don't know what I can handle. But I had to go there. It wasn't the thing about not being able to handle it. The thing about I didn't want to be there. Sitting there 24/7, have to get up 5:30 in the morning, do PT every morning for 30 minutes, then go run. You got to march everywhere you go, and then you got to make your bed. You can't lay back in your bed when you go in your room and sit down and brace, and you got to sit. And then when food come, dang, I just ate this last week. Every Wednesday, the same thing. Every Tuesday, the same thing. It's routine, so it's like that. You know what I'm saying? It's no surprises. When I got out, when I ate real food, when I got out, I was sick because the whole thing of my body done adjusted to the same conditions. Same. For Wednesday, I gotta eat spaghetti or something like that. It's like the whole breakdown of me was there. But it helped me as a man and helped me like decision making. Why? Because if I say, okay, I'm broke, I want to go sell dope right now. Prison is there. I'm not going that way. You know what I mean? And I value that I actually been up the road and seen this because it makes me better on my decision making. Because if I didn't know the story, well, I probably still would touch it.
You guys ever talk back to somebody? Like they say something to you and you talk back? Come on, I know you haven't. Imagine being in prison, being there for 4 years, okay? Somebody who's in there for life, or 50 or 60 years, tells you to do something. what is that guy who's telling you to do something? What have you got to lose? He's already going to be there for 80 years.
Yeah, you got people like that where they feel like they've been sitting in this prison for like 4 years, and they feel like the only change they can get is not freedom, is go to another prison. So I've been planning on doing something with somebody for a long time, so that's my vacation. And you can't give them more time. How you add more time to life? Will you give them 2 lives? You know what I mean? But it's just the mentality they have. And once you're stuck in that mentality, it's hard to break a person. But they the most common people, but it's the same time, they have nothing to lose. And once you end up with those type of people, it makes you like kind of afraid for life. And it makes you into something you don't want to be, because if you have a problem with him, then you have to go to a drastic measure, because you have to go to survival then. And it's not the place y'all want to be at. It's not the place.
You know, and the point I'm trying to make is, sometimes you guys get so mad, and I say you guys, not telling you guys, but it's hard to bite your tongue, even though it's the right thing to do, you know, and just leave it alone. Because sometimes people are baiting you into reacting, and they want to see if they got you. I got you. I knew I got you. But sometimes if you just, you hear walk away from it, and that's exactly what I'm trying to talk about. Sometimes you just got to be a man enough to say, you know what, I just can't fight this fight, because when you can't fight everyone that writes something bad about you on Facebook. You can't fight everything somebody texts bad about you. You can't fight everything that so-and-so said bad about you. You just can't. You just physically can't fight it.
And there's no such thing as right or wrong, like you doing right and wrong. Cause I tried it. Like even when I tried to get on the right path with my music, like that dude back there, Mr. 239, he's my manager. He's the CEO of our label. And he was constantly telling me, oh man, you gotta be 100% in his music. You can't go have and come to the studio and then go to the streets and go do this right here. So it's like, I was borderline. I was a good rapper, but I was still doing the same thing. Then something happened, an incident happened where I had my jaw broke. It got shattered right here. So I had 8 screws in my face. My mouth was wide for 6 weeks. I couldn't eat. Really couldn't think, because the whole pain of it all was just overwhelming, and I'm so hungry. And I'm like, I see myself shriveling up every day. I lost like 20 pounds in the first week because I couldn't eat. I had like 70 stitches inside my mouth. My mouth was wide up. No one knew that I had so much stitches in my mouth. And like the whole thing about it, and it took away one of the things that I said I want to do, music. So as I'm sitting there and I have to do something, I have to think, because I couldn't talk. Because talking was, because the whole jaw was shattered. And as of now, I still have 4 screws in a plate right here holding this together. So it's like, if you try to go half and half, it's not go way out, because the bad go conflict the good, or the good, you know what I'm saying? Something go happen. So you gotta do the whole right way, or none at all. Because it's not gonna happen. I'm gonna let them prove. This right here came from prison. I had 11 stitches in my lip. I had my ligaments tore on my wrist. When I got out, my appendix burst. And stitches, like, it's not gonna work. You need to do one thing or the other. You know what I mean? You gotta tell yourself that you're gonna do the right thing, because there's nothing better than succeed. You know what I mean? The bad stuff look good, but when you're at a position where you say, I'm happy, I'm comfortable, it's gonna hit you so good, because you can do whatever you want to do. You know what I'm saying? With no bars held. At the age all that right now, the issue is not really pressed that much, but it's gonna get there when you turn 15, 16, 17, where it's like I'm at a race to get the best grades because I'm finna graduate. You know what I'm saying? Right now, it don't really seem like it matters, y'all, but it's gonna happen, and it's gonna happen soon. So with that, we try to prep y'all to, when it happens, y'all have to manage. Because once you know about something and think about it, you have to understand it, you'll be good. Another question?
I have a question on like the thing about like people not like the police. Cause I went to like the alternative learning center with Officer Dan, and like these kids, they been talking about how like they don't like pigs and stuff like that. So that had me mad. So every day I went to school, I just got around and I shook his hand, and I wanted to say something about it. And I said,
no, you gonna have it here. you gonna have to people. People ain't like Jesus. People didn't like Martin Luther King. People didn't like a lot of people that was doing right. You feel me? And the only reason why they don't like them is because they not doing right. Believe me, because I was one of the people that said, I don't like kids, I don't like police. Because the whole thing, I had a problem myself, because the only reason I didn't like them because they would stop people doing what I was doing wrong. You know what I mean? That's why I ain't like them. Now I'm not doing wrong, I don't got no problem with them. But they don't conflict me in any way. You know what I mean? They don't do nothing. If I do a show, they probably securing for me. You know what I mean? So it's not a problem. Now I have to be like, thank you, officer, you feel me? Because he probably want to go save my life. Because I'm away from the street life now. You know what I mean? If you're not trying to get in that street life, don't even worry about what people say about the wrong stuff, you feel me? Because that's not the issue. Don't even address that. If they don't like police, that's them. You know what I'm saying? But while you stepping out of line and shaking their hand every day, it shows you as an individual, as a leader. Because let's believe, there's a lot of people that's silent that like police. That don't want to step out of line, but they don't want to get picked on, but they ain't got